Okay, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Rusty Hydra. This is Rust Console Edition, and I'm currently playing on my server 9 to 5 Workers United. We are in PvE mode, which is why I'm able to build like this. Nobody can come and destroy my stuff. And not only that, but you guys were actually kind enough to let this survive over the raid weekend, and nobody blew it up. Nobody destroyed a single piece of this. And let me tell you guys, I really appreciate it. So the main reason for my live stream today is because a lot of you guys are asking for power, and I am going to be selling, well, I currently do, but I sell when it comes to power on my store, because there's only one power system that you need to use, which is the megawatt, and I'm going to show you how to expand it all the way from a 1 battery to a 3 battery to an 8 battery to a 16 battery system. So this is all the entire, all of these are the exact same system, um, but just of different sizes. And if you build one system, if you build this by itself, you'll then easily be able to expand to this, and then easily be able to expand to this. So that's what this is going to be for. I'm going to show you guys how to hook all of this stuff up. This is a farm setup that I have going right here, because I'm also going to be selling full complete farm setup. So everything you need to build everything here that you see for a complete farm setup. This is all you need, and I'm going to show you how to wire it and everything like that. You'll be able to buy this on the credit store as well. And yeah, so this tutorial is basically for those who want to buy the system and want to install it themselves. But then, so especially like farms and stuff like that. But, so this is a tutorial for you guys. So if you buy the system, you guys can build it yourselves. I do also charge some credits for me to install it personally. Some of these, from a small system like this that'll only take me a half hour will be a lot cheaper than something like this that takes me, an hour, hour and a half. And then something like this is going to take me even longer. And then if I'm setting up turrets or not, that's a big thing. None of these power systems come with turrets. Um, it's just the power systems that I recommend that you use to run your turrets or your farm. Your farm setup here, though, does come with everything you see here and a couple extra things. It comes with your comes with a composter. It comes with a mixing table. It comes with enough to do a 2-story farm just like this, and then everything that you need to run all of your lights, your sprinklers, all of your pumps, everything. So we're going to wire all of this up together. So that's what this live stream is for. Yeah, but as always, I'm going to take 5 minutes or so to do this. I'm going to get the word out, let people know that I'm doing this, get this out on Discord. I have different towers here set up at different heights, so we can check on different power values at different times, depending on height placement and why it's so important. Even though I do have a video on this, if you watch my most recent how to set up your solar panel placements and your wind turbines, I do have a video that goes more depth on this. Yeah, but mostly we're just going to be talking about the megawatt here today and the farms. This is my tutorial video for the Discord. But you can use this on any server and for whether you're on console, PC, doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm going to give it 5 minutes. I will be doing timestamps in this video because I will be taking breaks in between individual systems. This is a live stream, so I'll make sure that I'm doing that. And so I will be doing live timestamps. So you guys can skip forward to whatever you want if you guys are watching this in the future. And yeah, I hope this helps, because honestly, if you guys install this system, this is the only power system that you're ever going to need to do anything inside your base. And in the future, I'm definitely going to be showing you more things that you can do, more things that you can run power off of, not just turrets and your lights. But because those are the two main things that everybody's focused on, that's what this video is going to be about today. And then I'll have another live stream showing you all the different things that you can do with power, besides just turrets. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So give me 5 minutes. I will be right back. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. Dylan, believe me, my friend Dylan, it is not hard. So, the reason it looks hard is because I have a bunch of different things going on here. But the only thing that you need to know is this, right here. This is the only thing you need to know. And if you just give me a couple of minutes, I will explain this, and you're going to see just how ridiculously easy this actually is. Well, this is the only power system that you actually need in order to run turrets, your lights, or basically anything else in the game. Um, this is all you need. And then this can run anywhere from one battery, which will run you 9 turrets, and this will go all the way up to 16 batteries and 150 turrets, which is this stuff down there. So I'm going to show you how to turn this from a 1 battery system into a 3 battery system, because there's never any point if you're putting this in your base to ever build just a 1 battery system, because at some point you're going to want to expand. So this is the bare minimum that you're going to build for your power system. And then in order to upgrade it, we're just going to simply build those. Or we're just going to simply add on to it. So all of those is this, just a little bit bigger because we have more batteries. But it works on the exact same function, and if you put this inside of your base, then you're 100% going to be good to go. So again, just give me a couple more minutes just to finally get set up here. And what's up, Mr. Jimbo? So just give me about 5 more minutes to set up here, and then we're going to go completely through this. And you guys will all, by the end of this, be masters of power. And I'm also going to show you guys how to do a really awesome farm setup. And again, all of these will be available for purchase in credits off of the store. So if you just want to hop into the server and you don't want to have to get all the blueprints for all of this stuff, you just want to farm, you're a farmer, then you can buy the farm bundle. And all of these power systems, although they can run a whole bunch of turrets, they will all come with, none of these will come with turrets. You have to buy turrets separately. And I make turrets expensive on purpose because you should be finding and grinding your turrets. But if you really don't have the time, then you can get all the turrets for it. So, yeah, again, give me just 5 minutes. I will be right back, and we will go through this. Also, prices, by the way, will be determined here shortly. Once I'm done doing this tutorial, I'm gonna go through and then count all of the parts in each one of these things and all the batteries and stuff like that. And then I'm gonna come up with pricing for each. So I'm gonna start with the 3 battery system, and then I'm going to per battery that you're adding onto the system. Actually, I'll probably just sell it in 3, 8, and 16 because really, if you're gonna need more than the 3, then you should just go right to the 8 for the best efficiency. And if 8 isn't enough, then you should just go to the 16, which is basically the max. And I'm going to show you also and explain to you why this is the best power setup in the game. Not just that it is. I'm going to show you why exactly you want to use this thing, because there's a few different reasons. Back. Okay, here we go. So why do we want to run this power system? Well, what lots of people do is they'll run their power in from wherever their power source is. They'll run it into the battery. They'll run it from the battery into here, and then they'll make an electrical tree, and then they'll run all of their stuff off of here, right? Whatever it is they want to run, they'll run off of here. So let's say that's one turret, so they'll configure that to 10, and then everything is good. As you can see, we have power going through, we have the 10, well, 9, because we only have a small little battery here. But we have the power going through, we're all good. The problem with this is that as soon as your battery gets destroyed, you no longer have power. So we want to avoid that. The other thing is whatever power you're getting from here, so in this case 645, we lose 20% of that when we put it in here, when it comes out here. So if this was a large battery and we're using 100% output of this battery and we give it 100 power, we're technically only giving it 80 power, and this battery over time will drain to 0. It might run for some times because the wind turbines will be producing more power, but then other times it won't, and then that's how you get dead batteries. So if this was a large battery and you are connecting directly to the battery and then from the battery to whatever, you want to be supplying this with an extra 20% power. Now the way to figure that out is, you know what, I'm not even going to tell you how to figure that out. If you have a large battery, you need to be supplying it with a minimum of 120 power. And if you have on wind, if you're on solar, then you need to be providing it with 140 power because you need to cover for nighttime usage. If you're on a medium battery, then it's you need 80 power in order to cover nighttime if you're on solar only, and you need 60 power if you're doing it on wind turbine. But there's no reason to ever hook up a wind turbine to a medium battery. So that's one reason we don't want to do that. So how do we prevent that 20% loss? And how do we take the battery completely out of the equation? Because we don't want to use the battery at all, because if the batteries are big, they're hard to place. So it's better to build battery rooms or hide them in walls. And if they get destroyed while it's being rated, well, then we lose the whole system. We don't want that. So I'm going to show you how to set up one battery, and then we're going to upgrade it to 3 batteries, and then we're going to move on to upgrading it to bigger ones. So we have our 4 power sources coming in. If we're doing one battery, then I recommend that you have 1 wind turbine and 3 solar panels facing south. And that way we're guaranteeing that our large battery is being covered. So we're going to connect these to here. We're going to use green power lines, by the way, for our incoming power, because we're receiving green energy because it's coming from the sun and from the wind. Our green energy is then going to go into this root combine, into this electrical branch, which allows us to set specific amount of energy to go out the left side, and then on the right side it will give us all of our excess power. Now what you see here, this is going to be up on your roof. These are going to be spread out from each other. These two are going to be pretty much beside each other, and very secure. You want these nice and secure, or at the very least hidden, and you do not want these placed at the bottom of your wind turbines, because if they rocket out your wind turbines, it's going to destroy the thing And not only will they take out the one wind turbine, but they'll take out the turbine connected to it. Ooh. So something like this, you try not to do, right? You don't want them exposed, but because of how high I had to build these, normally your roof would be here. So you would have those spread out all across your roof, connecting your turbines, but not near your turbines. And then these two pieces are beside each other, preferably in the center of your base on your roof, very, very well hidden. From this left side, let me turn off, here we go. So from this left side, we're going to bring our power down. Into this electrical branch. From the right side of this electrical branch, we're going to go into here. And then from the right side of here, we're going to go into here. Now we're going to do what's called daisy chaining, but I like to call this, for the future when I refer to it, this is going to be called what's an electrical tree, and this is going to be made of electrical branches. So my electrical tree is made of electrical branches, and these are daisy chained. And it's called daisy chaining because you're hooking them up next to each other, like holding your hand in a daisy chain. And the reason you don't want to daisy chain things unless they're all on the same wall is because if this one goes down, then everything after it also goes down. So only daisy chain things that are unimportant, like lights and door controllers, and if you're doing components all on the same wall. If you're doing things up on a roof, or if you're spreading things out for like turrets, then you want a pyramid. And it's also important that you pyramid when you're using root combiners, because from the beginning root combiner to the end root combiner, there only is allowed to have 15 pieces, which will come important later for the megawatt. This is kind of like the mini watt, or the tiny watt. So we have our power coming in from our one wind turbine, 3 solar panels. It's coming out the left side here. It's going into this electrical branch from the right side into this memory cell, from the right side into our electrical branches, and then it's being daisy chained. We now officially have power that we can use and hook up to whatever we want. Now when using this power system, anything that you hook up to it, like your lights or anything like that, they're all going to start from an OR switch. So in this case, we're going to use turrets. Turrets are going to be red. I'm going to hook that up to an OR switch. And then from there, we officially have power running out into whatever we want. Now the only thing is so you officially have power, right? You're officially running as much power as your wind turbines and stuff can produce. But that's never good enough, right? We're gonna want to back up battery power. But as of this point right now, you can be running power. The only thing that you need to do is figure out how much power you're producing. And in this case, we're going to assume that we're going to be running off of one battery. So our one power battery produces 100 power. So we're going to do 100. And then we're going to add 5 because we need 5 extra power. And that's the only thing, this is the only thing you're ever going to need to change in the future. We need 95 power to run our turrets. I'll explain that more in the future, but we need 95 power. Now we never need to change this. Our turrets will We can add or remove turrets as we need to, and we never need to change this. So we are officially able to run 9 turrets. Now the only other thing I will say at this point is, because we haven't fully hooked it up yet, if this is all you do, you will need to hook up a button and activate this memory cell. Or I'm pretty sure we could actually go from here to here. That would activate the memory cell, allowing the power to pass out through here. Because it's default, it will pass it out through there. But again, we're not going to half-ass it. We're going to end up building the whole thing. So, but now you can see how the power flows in, flows through, and then goes out to where it needs to. Now we're going to hook up the battery. So this is your battery backup charging and discharging station. And there's going to be 2 different ways that we can charge and our batteries. So the first main way, that is always on, that is always going to be charging our batteries, is going to be again from our roof. So because this is going to our battery line, we're going to use the blue power. I cannot wait to buy a new controller. Yeah. So because we have set this to 105, which is what our one battery is going to be capable of producing, all of the excess power that we're producing will then be sent out to charge our battery, which goes to here. From here, we're going to charge our battery. Now again, we're going to want to future-proof. So we're going to hook it up to a splitter. And then from the splitter, we're going to go to the battery. Now from our battery, we're going to go to a root combiner. From our root combiner, we're going to go to a blocker. And then from our blocker to our electrical tree. And then we're going to set this electrical branch to the same exact 95 that we set the first one to. So anything you put on these branches right here will match these branches right here. So in this case, we're running a turret system that needs 95 power. We're running a turret system that needs 95 power. So we're going to hook up our, we're going to say red is from our direct power. So white is going to be from, actually white is bad. We're just going to do light blue. Let's do light blue. So we'll do light blue into here. So now, as you can see, our system, we're not producing enough power to run our turrets. However, our battery here, because our battery is fully charged, is sending out power to our turrets. So our battery, so our turrets are now being run. Obviously, a small battery, we don't have enough power. Now, the reason we're setting this to be 105, which is our battery plus 5, is because we need now a way to block this blocker when we are producing enough power. Because if we're producing enough power, we don't also want to be using our battery power, because we would have our 99 power coming in here, and then we would have, or 95 power coming in here, we would have 95 power coming in here, and we would only ever get 95 power out here. So we're using our battery and wasting all of that power. So we need a way to block it when we are producing enough power. and that's where this splitter is going to come in. So our 100 power is being used right here through this system, and then that extra 5 power is being used for this electrical branch, this splitter, and the 4 power we need for here. So for our blocker line, we're going to use orange, and then from our third port here, yeah, that should work. So I'm going to disconnect this, and I'm actually going to hook it up to my power. So now we are, oh, I don't like that at all. So now we are producing our 105 power. Our excess power is being sent out to our battery. In this case, it's way too much, but ignore that. Oh, sorry, I set this up backwards, sorry. We are then advocating our 100 power here that our battery would be producing. And then our excess power of 4 will then be sent out to our blocker. So now, as long as we're producing that 100 power that we need, and then we're producing that excess 4 power, our blocker will be blocked, preventing our battery from doing what it needs to. Hold on, let me turn this on. 95. Remember I said you're going to need a button. So this is a temporary button. So we're sending out our 100 power. It's going into this memory cell, which is taking a power. It is then being sent out to our electrical branch, 99 power, and 95 power of that is being sent out to our turrets. Because we're producing more than 105 power, we have enough to send out 4 power, which blocks our blocker. Now I'm going to simulate what happens if we no longer have enough power by over boosting this. So we've lost power to here, which is then unblocking our blocker, which then allows the power to pass through. Normally this would be off. So this you set to however many batteries that you have. In this case we have 1, so we set this to 100. And because we're getting our 100 power, this is eating 1, which is sending 99 power into our system. When we run from our batteries, we're only ever going to get 99 power coming out of our batteries from this blocker. So we need to match that with this. Because if we say we have this set to 200 and we only have 100 worth of backup battery power, then as soon as we go into backup battery power setting, we're going to lose half of our system because we don't have enough. Now the last thing we want to do is we're always charging our battery here, but when we don't have enough power, right, because now we're in a low power state, so we have no power coming out here, and we're not producing enough power here to run everything, then this is going to switch. It's going to send its power out here, which is then going to charge the battery. So when this is in a low power state, we're both going to charge and discharge the battery at the same time. So we're going to go back to our blue line. So now we have a second way, or a second backup way, in order to charge our battery, because the wind turbines do fluctuate. They will go high, they will go low. So in the event that they do go low and you're not able to run all of your things, that low power will then be sent through here. So even though this requires 800 power, you could still be sending 700 power to the battery. So you're turning your 4-hour batteries into 7 or 8-hour batteries by doing that when it's in battery backup mode. But in order to switch that, we need to go back again here to our splitter. So I don't like that. So by sending one power out here, it's telling this memory cell to send the power out here. When the memory cell gets power here, it's going to tell the battery to send the power out here. Now when we reach that low power state, this loses power. When this loses power, this will lose power first, meaning this will no longer be activated, which will then allow this to activate in a millisecond after this deactivates. And then it will deactivate. So this will deactivate first, and then this will deactivate, giving it just enough time to switch it over. And then when we are producing the excess power, it will then switch the power back to here, sending power out to everything, and this will be armed and ready to send the power back out to the battery. Now, if you were hooking this up to just one battery, this is going to go to one single splitter, which is then going to run 3 turrets. You will then hook up another one to this, and then another one to this. What's up, Kosher? Giving you another 9 turrets that you can run in total. So you'll have in total 9 turrets that you can run, and they'll all be on independent systems, all spread out. So if one turret system goes down, the other 2 will continue to function. If this piece right here on your roof gets blown up, then this piece and this piece no longer function, but your batteries will function, and they will give you 4 hours of battery backup power. If this piece gets blown up, this piece is going to be in the safest place that you possibly can in your base, so preferably right next to your TC. If this gets blown up, then your battery backup system will continue to function and give you a minimum of 4 hours of battery backup power, but you will also continue to receive the excess power that this would have been, that is being supplied into the battery, turning your 4-hour system into a 5-hour system, potentially 6. However, if you're online during the raid, then you can switch this to 2, and it will send all of that excess power into these batteries, making this a 7 or 8-hour battery backup system, if not completely on all the time. If this gets blown up, nothing will happen because these 2 things are what's running the system for 99% of the time. So you want this set up somewhere in the top of your base. So this is up on your roof, all spread out. This is set up deep down in your core. This is set up somewhere in the complete opposite end of your base of this, but also nice and secure. So they have to destroy both this and this in order to completely destroy all of your power. And as long as they're at opposite ends of your base, that means they have to destroy both ends of your base in order to completely turn off all of your power. Now, if you're running this on a 3 battery system, which is why we set everything up exactly the way that we did, it is super ridiculously easy. So we just set this up into the next battery. This goes into here. We now have 300 battery power that we can play with. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to configure this to be 300. And we're going to go over here, and we're going to configure this to be 305. We're going to have 4 wind turbines hooked up all together, at least 10 stories off of the foundation. That is an example. I would have 1 in the center of your base, and then spread the 3 out as far as you can away from the center, preferably on top of your gatehouses or your externals. If you need 9 wind turbines for the bigger one, which I'm going to show you guys here in a minute, this is the spread that you need. So you need an 11 by 11 grid, and you need a 5 gap in between each one, or a 4 gap, preferably a 5. I think I did this wrong, this middle one. But yeah, it's supposed to be an 11 by 11 grid. You want them at least 10 stories off the ground. This is probably a tower that you would have to build on your base. And for squares, you need, squares and triangles, you need at least 3 once you start building that high up off of the ground. At least 3 supporting, unless you really want to get creative and do the single one, but that requires a lot of extra scaffolding. So you're going to have 4 wind turbines, all connected together, hooked up into this on your roof. You're going to send 305 power out to here. You're going to send 300 power out here. Each one of these is going to be set to 95. On both your battery and your direct drive. And then there you go. Now, if you want to turn off your turrets, you simply go here and change this to default 2. That means you'll no longer have enough power to run all of your turrets, and all of your turrets will turn off. But you also have to, wait, no, wrong one. So change this first one here. This first set of turrets I would keep and use for the inside of your base, because this is going to be your most important set of turrets, and then this is going to be your least most important turrets. Because as your batteries are spread out throughout your base, if one battery gets destroyed, you will lose 1 electrical branch worth of turrets. So these are your least important. But these 2 will continue to run and function. But that's only if you're on battery. So let me turn this all back on. That's 300. Oh, we're running on battery power. Oh, yeah. Because we're running on power, that's why. So you change this to 0 or 2. That will turn off all of your turrets. And then when you want to turn them all back on, you just change this back to however many batteries you have set up. Now, to hook up your turrets, you're going to need an OR switch, and again, you're going to hook up the first branch into the OR switch. The same first branch is going to hook up into the same OR switch. Second OR switch. Second, same OR switch. And you're going to run your turrets like this. So this is the OR switch we were just looking at. Now, if you only want to hook up, because we've already set our power amounts and we're already running the proper amount of wind turbines that we need, we can literally hook up one turret if we wanted to. If that's all we have is one turret and we want to set that up, we literally have to change nothing to add the next one. And we literally change nothing to add the next one. Nothing for this one, nothing for this one. We literally just plug them in. And because we're running a 3 battery system, that means you're going to have 3 clusters of these running your turrets. So you want to spread these out throughout your base, and you want them positioned behind those turrets. So say you have like 9 turrets that protect one side of your base. You want this on the just behind those. So once those 9 turrets are destroyed, it doesn't matter if these get destroyed because these 9 turrets have already been destroyed. And then you do the same thing on the other side of your base, the same thing on the other side of your base. You put one of these up on your roof, you put one of these on your main floor, you put one of these in the center floor. And then you can spread out all of your turrets from there. So this is all you need. If you just take a picture of this and spread these parts out the way that I described, you're going to be set. And then once you have this set up on your wall, and you want to turn this into an 8 setup. Hey Elite, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good, right? It's literally, this is literally this, but with a couple extra parts. And then this is literally this with a couple of extra parts. So this setup right here, if you have it set up to run only one battery, you can run 9 turrets off of this. And you're going to run them 3 off of 3 electrical branches with 3 OR switches and 1 splitter on each OR switch with 3 turrets on each. If you're doing a 3 battery setup, you can run 27 turrets with, again, the same 3 electrical branches hooked up to the same 3 OR switches, but now you're hooking up 4 electrical branches. All of these you just set to 95 and then leave them alone. This you set to however much battery power you have. Right? So 3 batteries is 300 power, and this is that same 300 power plus 5. And then you never ever touch this again. And then if you want it, this triangle right here is this row right here. And then if you, these are the only pieces that you have to add to it. Well, and this one. And then this, if you want to get up to the big guy, is just this. So it's this plus this, that plus that. Right? So it just expands. But this never changes. This is just this plus extra electrical branches. Right? So it just expands. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to let the little ants march so you can see where everything goes. You can take a picture of this. And then as long as you know this, you will 100% know the rest. So I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, and then I'm going to build the other ones. But I'm going to do those ones much quicker. So that's as if you either have this on the wall already, or you just bought it from the shop and you're just putting it all up at once, just to make your lives easier. Because I don't want to have to re-explain everything that I just did now in the next one. If you understand this, you understand the next one. Alright, see you guys in about 5 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to show you this. How to make this into this. So you just bought the system. You've bought 9 wind turbines. So we have 8 here, 1 here. So we always need, so in this case we have 4 wind turbines because we need 1 wind turbine, and then we need 1 extra wind turbine for every battery that we have. So again, this will run anywhere from 9 to 27 turrets. This setup right here is going to run you about 72 turrets, I believe, and we might be able to squeak out a little bit more from that. I'm pretty sure we can get up to 75, but we'll see here in a minute. So to make this real quick, again, we're going to spread all of this stuff out on the roof, except this root combiner and this root combiner, this electrical branch. They're going to be tucked away as super secure as you possibly can up on your roof. These are going to be spread out across your roof, and I would connect these first before you connect your wind turbines, just to make it easier to remember where your wind turbines get connected into. This last one is reserved for your 9th wind turbine. So that one extra wind turbine, that's what that's there for. It's going to go into there. Then we're going to go from the left side. And again, we're going to go into the same electrical branch. So this one's going to be, we have 8 batteries that we're going to be running. So this is going to be 805. Never have to change this again. This is going to be 800. Never have to change this again, unless you want to turn off your turrets, in which case you'd put it to 2 or 0. From the right side into our electrical branches. Oh, I'm teaching you right now. Trust me, I'm teaching you right now. Do all 8. And just like before, we're going to use our red line to go into our turrets. Into the A always on side. And then this OR switch is again this OR switch right here. And then you're going to create this. And you're going to hide all of this together. And then these are your turrets. These are just, pretend these are turrets. So this is your turret setup. And you're going to set up one of those to each one of these. And then we're going to go through here. We're going to set each one of these up to be 95. There we go. And now, because we bought the system, or because we've actually fully set it up properly, now we're running power. Now we want to set up our batteries. So we're going to set this stuff up. These are our 8 large batteries. We're going to again make pyramids using root combiners. Combining all of that power together. And again, you want these spread out all over your base. Into our blocker. Into our electrical tree made of electrical branches. And then each one of these is going to go out to a set of turrets, or whatever it is you're running off of the OR switch. And then in order to charge these batteries, oh shit, I don't have that on here. I did break a wall. Give me a second. You guys actually get to see me build it. I need an OR switch, and I only need one, and I need some splitters. So we need an OR switch. So we need to charge our batteries, which we'll do with light blue. So our excess power is going to be sent to our batteries. Into the splitter, where it's going to evenly distribute it all. And then it goes into the 8 batteries. Now you're going to notice here in a second too that we have one extra port right here. So if you've got a system this size, this is going to be for your RAID battery, so you can charge your RAID battery, or you can use this for your lockdown system, which will give you 92 doors that you can lock down at any point, at any time. And that'll be in my next live stream. I'll probably have that on the credit store as well. But there we go. See, it's the exact same system, but now we're running it off of 8 batteries. So now we have 800 power to play with. All right, so if we do, let's actually hook up some power into this here for a second. How much power are we bringing in? Definitely not enough. See, that's why it's important to have your wind turbines at the proper height. So we're going to say 200, so I know we're bringing that in. And then, oh wait, no, this is 205. This is going to be 200. And then there we go. So all said and done, if we have 800 power to play with, we're using 6 of these things. Each one of these things, let me bring up my calculator real quick. Calculator. So we have 8 of these things. Each one of these things, 8. Each one of these requires 5 power for that setup plus 1 for the electrical branch. It's going to be 86 or 96. So 8 times 96. That's 768 minus 800 that we're sending it. 32. That means you have 32 extra power to play with at the end here to run your lights. Now, which is what this block port is for. this power out on the very last one. So the left side will be for your last set of turrets, and then this one will be for your lights. And then if you're connecting it into your lights, you're still going to connect it into an OR switch, just like this. And then from the OR switch into a blocker, and then from the blocker into your lights. And then you're going to set up a solar panel up on your roof. This one's going to face southeast. And that's going to give you your automatic lights. So when the sun goes down or starts going down in the afternoon, your lights will turn on, and then when the sun comes up in the morning, when the sun goes down in the afternoon, your lights will come on, and then in the morning, when the sun comes up, your lights will turn off. So that's why you want this facing southeast, because you want it to catch the morning sun. Remaining power for. But depending on the size of your base, you're really only ever going to need like 10 lights. Why isn't that clearing? I might need to relog. But yeah, so that's how you hook up 8 turrets, or 8 batteries, running you 72 turrets. And actually, technically, you could use that 30 power to run 3 more turrets. If you just run one splitter off of there and then hook up the 3 turrets to that splitter, then you have 1 leftover power, so you don't get any lights. But then you can run exactly 75 turrets. So again, this goes up on your roof, all spread out. You need 9 wind turbines, all spread out like this. This goes in the deepest, darkest, safest place of your base. This goes in the next safest part of your base, but in the opposite end of your base. And all of your batteries get spread out. And then it's going to be the same exact thing for 16 batteries. We need 16 wind turbines. Sixteen wind turbines all connected together. Left side over to here. 16 batteries, 1605 power. All of these being set to 95. With all of these being set up to one of these. We're going to hook up our battery charging. Oh, come on. Due to a very gracious donation, I will be buying a new controller soon, thank God. Oh, are you kidding me? That was on. Thank you. Because, man, do I need it. And I'm also going to buy a new mouse because my right click doesn't work on my mouse. So again, we're going out to all 16 batteries, all spread out, of course. And then we have 2 extra ports. One probably going to be for your lockdown system for a size, base of this size. One for your RAID battery. Now it'll let me do it. Again, making our pyramids. Hook these up real quick. I did have some of this done beforehand, but changed a few things just before this. And I realized that it had been getting kind of long until I actually started this, so you get to see me do it live. There we go. It's a good thing I'm quick. But you can see how quickly you can install and put this power system into your base. Especially if you're not trying to do nice wiring, you're not changing the colors. If you just throw this up and you know what you're looking at, then yeah, you don't have to make it look this nice. As long as everything is wired in this order and set to the correct amounts, then you don't have to do anything. And then finally, to finish this off, ooh, that looks like shit, doesn't it? Whatever. Boom. Yeah, okay, I can't do that. Can't do that. Gotta make it look nice. That's fine. Do 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 do. Boom, boom. What's up, Justin? How's it going? There we go. So that's 16 batteries with 16 wind turbines, doing 150 turrets. And it's the same exact system as the one before it and the one before that. Just a couple extra pieces. So this is actually this, which is just this. So if you know this, you know this, then you know this. Nope, not testing. This is the actual best power setups for the game. So this is a 3 battery 27 turret setup, or 1 battery 9 turret setup. This is an 8 battery 75 turret setup, which is the same exact system, just added a couple extra things. Like it's this is this, but with more of these sort of thing, right? And then this is the megawatt, which is 16 batteries and 150 turrets worth of power. And then this is what you run it to. So this is how you run your lights. So you run it to an OR switch, and then you run either your straight power and your battery power to this from here, and then into your lights from the very last port right here. And then if you're doing a turret setup, you run it to an OR switch, again from your straight power and battery into splitters, and you make these and spread them out all across your base. So if this one gets destroyed, all of your other turrets will continue to function. If this gets destroyed, everything will continue to function as normal. So put this in a safe place, but up on the top of your base. If this gets destroyed, this system right here and those, then everything will be running on battery backup power, and it'll also continue to be charged with the excess power from here. If you come in here, if you're being alive during the raid, and can switch this to 0, then you can change this from a 4-hour battery backup system into an almost infinite power, if not like double the lifespan of the battery power, easy. If you can switch that, if this gets destroyed. And then if this gets destroyed, then this will no longer function, but your batteries will take over for 4 hours. So this you want to keep in the safest part of your base. This you want to keep spread out on your roof, except for these two. You want to keep nice and hidden up on your roof. And then this you want to keep at the complete opposite end of the base as this stuff, but still in a secure room. And your batteries you want all spread out. When it comes to turrets, you want your most important turrets to start here, and you want your least important turrets to end here. If you lose a battery, it doesn't matter which battery, you will lose the final branch. So if you lose 1 battery, you will lose this branch. If you lose 3 batteries, you will lose these 3 branches of turrets. So try and keep your batteries safe and spread out, and your most important turrets on this end instead of the other end. All of these get set to 95 if you're running turrets. This is always however many batteries you have times 100. So in this case, we have 16 batteries. 16 times 100 is 1600. And this is always that same number plus 5, so 1605. And that's how you run 150 turrets in the very best, most efficient way. But it requires 16 wind turbines being spread out over a 16 by 16 grid. This is probably going to be the most common setup. This is going to get you 75 turrets. It's the exact same setup as this, only a little smaller. This is going to get you 75 turrets. Requires 9 wind turbines spread out in a 3 by 3 pattern over an 11 by 11 grid. 10 stories off of their foundations. This is those same exact setups, but even smaller, running only 3 batteries, running 27 turrets, requiring 4 wind turbines, 1 in the center of your base, and then 3 spread out on your externals or your gatehouses. 10 stories off the ground. This is the same exact setup if you're just starting out and you only have 1 wind turbine. Then you're going to be placing 1 wind turbine and 3 solar panels for 1 large battery, keeping the exact same setup for when and if you decide to upgrade. And this is also the exact same setup you're going to use if you're going to use just a medium battery, and a medium battery is going to require 4 solar panels. So this is a completely upgradable system. You start with 4 solar panels and a medium battery. You upgrade to a large battery and remove 1 solar panel and add a wind turbine. And then you upgrade again to 3 batteries and 4 wind turbines. All without changing anything. You just have to configure these 2 branches. This one branch is however much battery power you have. And this is that same number plus 5. And again, this is spread out the exact same way. This is up on your roof. This is by your TC. This is in an opposite end of your base. Your batteries are spread out. If you're running 3 batteries or anything more than 1 battery, then these are all going to be set to 95, and they're all going to be running this turret setup. Imagine these orange things are turrets. If you're only running 1 battery, then each one of these is also going to go to an OR switch, only you're going to have 1 splitter attached to that, and you're going to attach 3 turrets to it, and each one of these are going to be set to 31, or 32. And once you set these, as long as you have the appropriate amount of incoming power, you never have to change them. So, 1 medium battery, 4 solar panels. 1 large battery is 1 wind turbine, 3 solar panels. More than 1 large battery, 1 wind turbine plus 1 wind turbine per battery. This is the 8 battery setup, which is going to be what most of you guys are going to be running. You do exactly the same thing there for this one. And then this is the 16 battery version, or 150 turrets, which is only the most extreme. And then when I was talking about root combiners and why we have them in triangles rather than daisy chaining them like this, I'm going to show you why. So root combiners, from the first root combiner on a chain to the last root combiner on a chain, can only have 15 pieces in between it. So if we count, we have 1, what's that backwards? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to go to our battery system. 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have the battery. 10, 11, 12, 13, and the battery is 14. So we have 14 pieces there. If we go to here and we do our backup power, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Or, yeah, wait, the battery doesn't count. So we have 15 in the one, so it allows our power to pass through. And then we have 13 in the other because we have 2 less pieces involved. So if you didn't want to do this, and you didn't install these, technically, if you wanted to go even bigger than this, you could do 32 turrets. You could add one more row here, or turbines, and you could add one more row here, giving you those 2 extra spots to pass through, giving you 32 wind turbines, 32 turret batteries, and 300 turrets, which would be like the ultimate mega gigawatt Chad watt. And then again, if you want auto lights, you just run the very last piece of this, which is whatever excess power that you don't need for your turrets, into here, and then from here into your lights. And then you set up one solar panel facing southeast, so it catches the early morning sun, and doesn't catch it late at night when it's the darkest. And then you'll have automatic lights. Your lights will turn on and off as you need them. So these are your power setups. I'm going to kind of stand here so you guys can see and compare these two systems, because they're the exact same system, only bigger. And these are the 2 main systems that you guys are probably going to use in your builds and get off of the credit store. So I'm just going to stay here for about 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes I'm going to go over and I'm going to show you the farm package that we have available. So you'll be able to buy this off of the credit store, or you'll be able to build this yourself, and I'm going to show you all of the components and everything that you need and how to wire this bad boy up in order to get 12 things going. And it doesn't really require much. And we're going to use the same sort of setup as all of these systems over here, only something a little bit less advanced, because we won't need it for our farm. So again, I'm just going to kind of stand here and let you guys check this out. Be back in 5 minutes. Okay, let's set up this farm. So I've already graciously gone ahead for everybody and hooked up a couple of these things just to make our lives easier. So first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to add our solar panels. We're going to use 4 solar panels because we're only running a medium battery. We're going to combine them all into our pyramid of root combiners as usual. We're going to run our power up. From the left side, just like before, we're going to run that into an electrical branch this time instead of a memory cell, because we don't need to be as advanced with this system. From the left side, we're going to go up, and then from the right side, we're going to go into our blocker, and then we're going to finish making our electrical tree made of our electrical branches. We've got power going. Now we need to charge our battery. So we're going to take our blue battery line, into our battery, and then from our battery into our blue blocker, oops. That does still go in there. No, it was right. I'm sorry. Wait, what is going on? Green power. It comes from here to here. Then excess power goes there to block the blocker. And then our blue power powers that. Green power powers that. And then this is what's going to go and charge our battery. Woo. ha ha. So we have our power coming in from our 4 solar panels. It's then going into here. We have configured this to be 48. Actually, it's going to be 49. Because while we are receiving power from the sun, we do not want the battery to be in use. So that one extra power that we're going to be receiving from the sun will then be sent out to the blocker. It should say... I had it right the first time. Power comes in. We're going to send our 50 power. Because just like the last systems, sorry, I was confused for a sec. Just like the last systems, we're going to send as much power as we have battery power. So we have 50 power, we're going to send the 50 power through. We're going to send the remaining power, which is, this case is 29. Into the battery, from the battery, into the blocker. From the blocker into here. Here into here. It's going to be set to 51. Then our green power is going to be sent from here neatly into here. From left side to here. And then, with our one remaining power left over, we use this to block the blocker. So, now while the sun is up, we're producing enough power to run everything. We don't need the battery, so our excess power is being sent out to our battery, charging it while it's not being used. When we no longer have the sun is no longer up, we're no longer producing power, this will unblock, allowing our battery to take over, powering all of our things. Now we need a few things in order to run this. So just like power, we need something to collect things. So with our wind turbines, we're collecting wind, but with our pumps here, we're collecting water. Now salt water requires it to be desalinated, just like the wind power requires you to combine it like this and refine it. So we're going to power our pumps, and this is where the power thing is located, right here on the front of the pump. And we're going to want to have 3 pumps for this size of system. Now, all three pumps require the same amount of power, which is 5 power. So all three can be hooked up to splitters. And we're going to hook this first splitter up to our first electrical branch. We're going to set this to be 16 power. And there we go. Our pumps are now turned on. So we are officially pumping water. But this water, because we're in the ocean, it's no good. We need to desalinate it, which is where this water purifier comes from. So this water purifier also needs 5 power. Let's run, we'll run a red line. So we'll run a red line for this one. Set that to 5. Now you just heard that turn on. Now we need to get that water to different parts. Now this is where things can be confusing because it requires you to have things at certain heights and water flows down, yada yada yada. I can't be bothered with all of that. I just want something that I know works no matter where I set it up or how I configure it on what wall. So this is what I have here. So we're going to need 3 different fluid switch and pumps. And for this one, we're going to make these, white because we're not using the, stone walls for this. So we have a pump power and we have a toggle. We're not going to use the toggle. Toggle's only for very advanced systems, which you can also find on my ProPower copy and paste list. Turn them all on. Now they're all on. And now we're going to connect this up to the third port, or third electrical branch. And then each one of those requires 1 power plus the branch, so this one's going to be configured to 4. Now our final thing here is going to be for our lights, and we're going to daisy chain our lights together. If I'm not mistaken. So we power 1, and we go to the next one, power the next one, go to the next one, and then go to the next one. So this is how you want at least 2 lights for your farm plots, at least like this, so that way guaranteed every one of your plants has lights. So now your whole farm system is all set up. We're only running 4 lights, so we need 7 power for those, because the last light on any string only requires 1 power, so we need 7. So right now we're running an excess 20 power. So we're running 20 power, so we have an excess of 13. So we can remove that 13 from here, which would be 4838. So now we're definitely getting enough juice in order to charge our battery for the nighttime. Now we need to plumb everything. Everything needs to be plumbed. So again, I've set up a couple of them here, but you can find your plumbing thing here. Attach it here. Attach it here. And then we're going to hook all of these things up into a fluid combiner. It says this will say it requires a pump, but that is a pump in and of itself. We're then going to connect that combined fluid together into this port right here on our water purifier. So if we open this up, you can see that we're now filling in the bottom left, and then it's draining into this one. So we're going to let this run for a couple of minutes. We want to give this a chance to fill up before we hook up our sprinklers. The longer we let this run for, the better. Now the water output is going to come out here. So we're going to use blue, just like our battery. Actually, that's probably not a good idea. We'll do yellow. So our good water, or is that green? No, I picked yellow. I might have the color glitch. No, you cannot, unfortunately, close doors while being knocked. So, well, we will use blue. Hopefully it's a different color blue than the water there. So we're going to bring this up, and we're going to bring this into a fluid pump. From our fluid pump here, I'm going to bring this out to a splitter, a fluid splitter. From our fluid splitter, we're going to go out 2 sides. And then these are going to connect into our sprinklers. Close enough. With the crawling, we might be able to close doors with the new update. I haven't really been able to spend much time on that, if I'm being honest. I've been so focused on doing all of this, I just really haven't had the time. And now we have our working farm. So if we go and look, we're gaining, and we're gaining all at an even rate because of the way that we've placed our sprinklers here. We want them all centered. And if we go up here, we're also gaining. And that's how you set up a farm. Now, the problem with farms is they're loud. You hear these pumps, you can hear this pump, and you can hear the sprinklers. So what I recommend is you leave everything on and running when you're not around. And then when you are around and you're planting your stuff, turn everything off. So you can turn everything off by going again to this switch, just changing this to 0. Or actually no, you have to actually add a switch in, don't you? This was what, 32? Well, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, wait, what's this set to? 49. But it only needs 16, 5, 4. So that's 5, 11, 27, 28, 29. Plus 7 is 36. So this needs 38. Sorry about that. I didn't pre-configure this beforehand. These farms are a nightmare to try and figure out. Power comes in, 4 solar panels. It gets all combined into the electrical branch. This gets set to 39. All of the excess power will be sent out to the battery, which is way more than we need. It's almost double. This gets set to 37, because that's all the power that we need to run everything. This one gets set to 15 or 16, because we're running 3 pumps at 5 power each, plus the splitter. This one gets set to 5, because we're just running the desalinator. This one gets set to 4, because we're running 3 pumps. And then the remaining excess power gets sent out to the lights. So that's how you do a farm setup. You will be able to buy this package off the store. Or just put it in yourself. If you do, because this is too loud and you do want to add a switch, you add it right here after the OR switch, by the way. I meant to... and you can put this wherever. So if this is the entrance to your farm, right, you put this here on the wall, or let's put it here. Oh, wrong one. That was the backup taking over. There you go. So unless your planter box are running lower than 5,000 water, you can turn this off. If your planter boxes are more than 5,000 water, turn it back on. All right. Yeah. So this will be up all week on the server. You guys can come check it out. I'm right here. We're on server 9 to 5 Workers United. We're at E19, E18, right by Lighthouse. I'll actually probably put a couple of beds here and stuff so you guys can check it out. And yeah, I hope this really helps you guys in game. I hope you guys start using power more, defend those bases, and this way you don't have a whole bunch of spaghetti wire all over your base anymore, and you're not overusing components, and you're not running out of power, and why is this happening? Why is that happening? And if you ever need any help, well, you know where to find me. I'm always available on Discord. So, again, you'll be able to buy these packages. I'll sell 1 to 3 battery package, and then I'll sell the 8 battery package. I'll sell the 16 battery package. It'll come with all of this stuff that you need in order to hook this stuff up. So all of this stuff will come with it. And if you want to buy a farm package, you can buy a farm package, and it'll also come with a composter and a mixing table and a fridge and a few other things. So yeah, it just became nighttime in the actual game, which is why we're no longer producing power, and that's why you see it switched over now, and now we're running off of the battery for the night. And then come morning, all of this will turn back on, we'll charge the battery, we'll be all good. So, yeah. So, for all future viewers, so basically the stream is over. For anybody who is watching, I'm not really going to go over anything new, but I am going to go over each system one more time, so then that way I can timestamp to them, and then people can come and they can go back later on to find how to actually build the systems. But I will be going over each system one more time really quickly, just so I have that timestamp. The too long didn't read version. But so if you guys want to stick around and watch that, absolutely, that'd be cool. Just so I can give them guaranteed concrete information. And then, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it, So, yeah, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, and then I'll be back. Alright, actually, you know what, guys? I think that is going to be it for this live stream. I think it would be better if I make an actual quick video on all of these systems, um, quickly explaining all of them, and then I can just refer people to this video to see actually how to build these. Um, I think it would just be better if I actually made a video on it, so then that way people could see and get the quick version of it in video format. And it'll also show up in more places because it's in video format. And this is probably going to be the last time I actually do a video on power management. And in the future, I'm just going to be doing different things that you can do once you've combined all of your power, and what the things that you can use with that power other than just the other than just turrets in your lights, because there's so many more things that you can do with it. So thank you guys all for watching. Again, if you guys want to come check this out, we are down here at F19 E18 on 9 to 5 Workers United. Just look for us in the console tab, in the community tab. Yeah, come check it out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Peace.